Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Factutainment. Happy Earth Day. I'm Steg, and I'm joined by my co-host Aura,
Who's Aura? I'm kidding. Hi, everyone.
and then I'm also joined by Avery
Hello.
and Beth.
So wild!
And this Earth Day, we're coming up with ideas for videos, and one idea we had was because it's not, I guess, to date the video. One of the big news in biology and ecology and paleontology, whatever, geology genealogy
Apologies.
came out
Oncology.
early day, other than everyone getting their funding cut, was that Colossal brought back quote unquote dire wolves. They're kind of just gray wolves with heavy gene editing,
Extra shit.
but
Dog.
and they're extra large. But they got us thinking on if we could actually resurrect species. We're talking like printing an ibex if it was successful, not whatever Colossal did. Um, what should we bring back? And we thought about doing like, oh, we have all of the extinct animals I've covered on Weekly Wildlife, but that's like 268. So we decided to narrow it down to just creatures we have fossils or fossil replicas of in our collections.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we're going to rank these on should we de-extinct them? Should we not? Absolutely not. Or could have some good, could have some bad ideas. And I believe this is mostly alphabetical, although some of these may be slightly out of order. First up, we got Acrocanthosaurus.
Okay. What's Athrocanthosaurus's deal?
So,
You don't want to call it Acrocanthosaurus?
Well, I wasn't really thinking about that, Beth.
Acrocanthosaurus is an extinct genus of megatheropod that lived throughout, I believe it was the early Cretaceous, up to the middle Cretaceous of North America. It's
Mm-hmm.
also known as the high-spined lizard, and it hunted sauropods. And here's like a good size comparison about what it was size-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the largest
Yeah.
theropod to ever live, but it was up there. Um, its relatives are Carcharodontosaurs and like Giganotosaurus, which is like a Carcharodontosaur. Uh,
Mm,
I don't know what you guys are talking about. We have these things in Texas. It's why we need our assault rifles to protect our children.
Jesus Christ.
they are native to Texas. They're also found on the East Coast occasionally too. Kind of funny.
Yeah. Specifically, states of Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming in the west, and then Maryland in the east.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
Acrocanthosaurus.
I would say, do you want Jurassic Park? This is how you get Jurassic
Yeah.
Park.
I feel like that's going to be the thing for most of the giant predators.
Yeah, the thing with the Acrocanthosaurus is they were specifically evolved to eat sauropods. So unless we're bringing back a lot of sauropods, we don't
Yeah, but sauropods
really.
are cool.
Yeah, like the closest thing we've got is elephants. Really?
Is sauropods even on this list?
Yeah, we've got 3.
Probably.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sauropod is a type of thing, not a species.
So we'll put this in Jurassic Park. And next up we have Albertosaurus, which is that's absurdly large for what Albertosaurus actually was. Here we go. Here's one.
Yeah, because it's fat Albertosaurus.
So Albertosaurus is a genus of Tyrannosaur, and it's Albertosaurian Tyrannosaur. Basically, in Tyrannosaurs, once you get past stuff like Eotyrannus, where you actually have like bigger Tyrannosaurs, you tend to have 2 branches. There's the bigger bruiser type builds like Tyrannosaurus Rex and Tarbosaurus. And then you have more gracile builds, sort of like Albertosaurus, where they have longer legs, they're kind of smaller, they're better at running. And Albertosaurus is notable because it has sort of like these They're not quite horns, but they're like these little horns above the eyes. And these live throughout Alberta, Canada, as well as parts of what's now the United States, all the way up until the Arctic Circle.
It's a Tyrannosaur with a Canadian accent.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm sorry to say this is gonna like it's a giant bipedal predator, closely related to the T-Rex. Well, not closely, but you know what I mean. This is gonna go into. Do you want Jurassic Park? This is how you get Jurassic Park.
I would say like this isn't quite Acrocanthosaurus size of absurdity.
Yeah, maybe the next category up
could go great,
could go
could
terribly.
go terribly. I do think it's neat that these were kind of like Arctic. Granted, they ranged from the Arctic down into what's not the Arctic anymore, but it's kind of like an Arctic Tyrannosaur.
That could be anywhere.
That's kind of
any
cool.
one of two places.
Anyway, they ranged from what was the Arctic Circle down into, they wasn't the tropics, but it was more like temperate. Anyway, next up is Avery. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, just same with most large predators. Just be like, nah, probably not.
All right. Next up is Allosaurus.
Isn't it crazy how Steak can just type these names from memory? Isn't that wild?
So here's another one where
Pokemon names from memory.
10.
I also don't mean that in a bitchy way.
Here's another one where it's not.
Now that dog can fuck him up. That dog's the win.
It's not as huge as Acrocanthosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was one of the largest predators of its time because stuff like Acrocanthosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, that's Cretaceous. Allosaurus was Jurassic. So
staring at that thing's ass.
It has some more. So it's like more. It's less absurd. This also ate predominantly sauropods and like stegosaurs. It could probably subsist off like rhinos and elephants and giraffes if we were to like bring it to the modern day.
Okay, Steak, but we need those.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you also need something to keep them in check.
Yeah, but it's also a matter of would that be sustainable?
Yeah. Also, we've previously talked about how Allosaurus is an asshole.
Oh yeah,
like hyper aggressive. That's the meme of like, oh, none of these dinosaurs were as aggressive as they are shown in the movies, except for Allosaurus. It looks like for all intents and purposes they were. They just did that.
Big Al sucked a lot of shit because he was a little bastard.
Where do I want to put?
Probably go in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Yeah,
fight everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
If Jurassic Park was dinosaur arena fighting.
Next up, we have the American Mastodon.
Horrible creature.
Nobody
should ever resurrect these things.
So these
I think we could get away with this one.
This is the American Mastodon that did only go extinct like around 10,000 years ago. There's some differences between them and mammoths and modern elephants. Mastodons are actually much older lineage. They just kind of persisted for a very long time. I think I've seen people discuss like mammoths and mastodons are to each other as like we are to baboons in distance of relation. And it's just kind of interesting that they managed to persist as long as they did. Because they kind of split off a while ago. They also lived in different habitats. So mammoths primarily lived in plains and ate a lot of grasses. Mastodons are much more adapted to forests, and they ate a lot of tree branches and leaves. I think these are like extinction doesn't have to be forever, personally.
Yeah, I would say extinction doesn't have to be forever. I think either that or wait, is extinction doesn't have to be forever the top one, or what's the topmost one? Oh yeah. Extinction doesn't have to be forever. I think that is good for the mastodon because like and not to like capitalize it or anything, but like I would want to eat mastodon meat. I think if we resurrect them, it would go. The
Oh
ivory
yeah,
trade.
there's this one. There's this art that I love. Where people are like, what if the North American megafauna didn't go extinct? And it's like
And they're just
if you lived in the southern United States, you'd have to deal with like mastodons crossing roads and like fucking up fences and shit. Uh,
I ate the shit out of one of them.
all right, so what do you think, Avery?
yeah, as I said, I think we could get away with this one. I think,
Okay.
like not like top of the list, but
Top of the morning to you. My name's Jacksepticeye. No, I'm kidding. I'm not Jacksepticeye. Or
Top of the morning to you, my name's Jacksepticeye.
you never seen me and Jacksepticeye in the same room, and we're both Irish.
Yes, I have.
Have you?
He's in the room with you right now.
Shit. He's come to collect the debt.
Ankylosaurus.
now you see the
Yes.
problem I have with Ankylosaurus is what the fuck would eat them that exists currently.
E.
Hyenas, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm thinking of things that could get through the armor.
How docile are they, do you think?
They're not gonna like go out of their way to hurt you, but like if you mess with them, you're dead.
Okay.
Yeah, probably very much like the modern
You're dead.
moose, where they won't go out of their way.
Alaska's gonna hate these.
Won't go out of their way, but if you corner them, you're likely to die.
Think of them as like heavily armored pigs, kinda, in terms of like what their
Oh, they're
kind of
delicious.
diet was. But
Gotcha.
they were also pretty big. So,
I'd be okay with these.
okay.
Yeah.
We're thinking would be dope or
Ride this to
doesn't
work.
have to be
Yeah.
forever.
I
Probably
put
would be dope.
Would be dope, yeah.
Okay, now we have Arugognathus.
Oh, hey, it's those little bitches from the Star Wars movies.
Orgs.
Orcs, yeah. Man,
I'd honestly,
orcs.
honestly, these things are like kind of small, right? Like
Yeah.
that size. These things are they carnivorous or do they just like eat bugs?
They eat bugs.
Imagine like having a swarm of these around you would be horrifying.
Yeah, so at first I was thinking it would be okay for them to come back, but we also have to think about like what is the ecosystem going to be like if we reintroduce some of these these creatures, and I kind of feel like these guys could kind of wreak havoc on an ecosystem.
I don't think they necessarily would because they're not going to be a creature that reproduces rapidly.
Gotcha.
I'm always reproducing rapidly.
Damn.
Because by all intents and purposes, it looks like these were kind of like bats or nightjars, but without the social element. So they didn't like live in large colonies.
Okay.
So I think would be dope, but I could see could go wrong, could go great, could go terribly, depending on what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards could go great, could go great, could go terribly.
Yeah.
All right. Next
These
up,
little guys have done nothing wrong. Not these guys, but the one that Chris is about to look at. I mean,
enough.
come on. What's the worst that this guy can do?
Swim up your butthole.
You'd have to have big butthole.
drag you into the
So if I go-
ocean.
Wait, are these
These
predators?
fucks were big.
Holy shit! Were they big?
Alright, we'll do size chart.
For a arthropod, yes.
And honestly, these things would be like cracking open a lobster, so it'd probably be great to have.
So
Yeah, there you
go.
not
Lobster.
quite person size.
Like ribs, lobster ribs.
Just one long lobster tail.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. Let's see, and thought to be largest animals of the Cambrian, and though thought to be one of the earliest examples of an apex predator.
So these are like
I
big lobster size.
Yeah, I'm conflicted because on one hand, I'm with Beth on like, damn, I would like to eat the shit out of one of these, but on the other hand, I'm afraid of what this could do to me if I like go into the. Are they saltwater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck somebody very close and dear to you. NTR Alamaracaris.
Okay. So
I'm gonna put them
the
in would be dope, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted them to extinction doesn't have to be forever, but with the reveal of them being apex predators, I think would be dope, would be good.
Well, they're apex predators for the time. They would probably be more mid or low level predators if we brought them into the modern day.
Okay.
Because you gotta think, these guys evolved when fish were just starting out and they were like smaller than your finger.
I would still say would be dope.
Yeah.
Archaeopteryx.
I choose you.
So yeah, we
That'd
got
Oh, it's a
probably be
bird.
fine.
we got
We have
the
these in
first
Illinois.
we got the first bird, or probably the first bird.
And what
Yeah, I
is the
was
word?
about to say that's kind of up for debate.
But
Archaeopteryx.
were they the word?
This would probably be like, I'm thinking of ecologically niche. They kind of probably be similar to Hotson, except for they wouldn't be herbivores. They'd be like insectivores. Or probably eat small like lizards and stuff as well.
Okay. We're small cats.
I mean,
I don't know why.
Yeah, one of these things took my dog.
they're about the size of a cat, so I don't.
Checkers is just out. Checkers is out here just getting it.
I don't know. Knowing what cats do to bird populations, cats may be more a threat to this.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading, I was researching stuff of like extinction events, and it's like so many island birds just die whenever fucking cats get introduced,
It's not even just cats; it's rats too.
and pigs, yeah, and in some instances monkeys, because for some reason they're fucking voting monkeys in random islands. Uh, but
I would say
doesn't have to be forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
these guys are kind of inoffensive.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, but with that, I think I'm unfortunately gonna have to dip.
Oh,
Oh,
just tell us what you think of.
Arthropleura. What do you think?
Yeah, guess what do you think
If I
about
saw this thing, I would kill myself.
No, bring it back. Probably just a detritivore. It
No.
ain't gonna do no
That was
harm.
a herbivore. Yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, well,
Giant
Beth,
millipede.
They
Beth,
were
you
like,
got-
they
millipede.
were like, if you're wondering, all these fucks are like 10 feet long.
well, you guys have to remember in the context of it would probably not if we brought it back, it would not be this big
Eh,
Why wouldn't it be?
because of it. Fuck, it has something to do with oxygen, I think.
they were able to get as big as they were because of increased oxygen
But-
contents, but
Yeah,
depending on like what
because
you do, you could maybe make it work.
the oxygen concentration at that time was about 35% in the atmosphere rather than 21%. But yeah, but I'm happy putting would. I would happily put in would be dope.
Like imagine like that's a tree. just millipede.
I mean,
Send this
I
thing
would.
to hell.
Okay, so
They're harmless.
I would also say
I once saw like a caterpillar on my driveway on my sidewalk, and his skin was crawling for days.
Jesus. I'd probably say would be dope as well because I love a giant millipede, but I would not want to see it like actually. I think I would freak the fuck out.
Alright. Okay.
Well,
Well,
Avery,
see ya,
if you have,
Avery.
if you have to dip,
Yeah,
you have to
see
dip.
ya. So need to be at work early in the morning.
It's
so,
all good. This has been a wrap on Avery. Everybody, say goodbye,
Yeah.
Avery.
Good night, all.
Oh, you're supposed to
When
say
you-
goodbye, Avery. No.
Anyway,
Okay, now we can start talking mad shit about it. I'm kidding though.
next up we got Australovenator. These
Pardon me?
were Australovenator. These were theropods from Australia that are notable for having massive arm claws,
Extra
like
no.
hand claws. And they weren't
Oh,
incredibly large. They were
What rings you got, bitch?
about yay big.
I hate looking at that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that art's kind of ugly.
Australia already has enough fucked up shit.
This is kind of more cool looking.
Is he DTF at least?
I think these aren't the worst idea to bring back. Like, they're not quite like mega theropod size. So we don't have to necessarily deal with that. But
Have you
I guess
considered?
in the third tier.
all right.
Yeah, I think could go great, could go bad.
Next up is the Bahi.
Oh,
Well,
the
he-
stuff from Taco Bell.
the Bahi blast.
That's what
I mean,
killed them.
how could you not bring it back?
Just a dolphin.
Yeah, just a dolphin.
It
Just a
was
little guy.
the Yangtze River dolphin. It went extinct in like the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, you what's the word? Fuck, sorry, I'm trying to remember my words.
Why are their
When
eyes
you were
like
growing
that?
up, you wanted to study these guys, right?
So their eyes are like that because they're nearly blind because they lived in fairly dark water. So like they lived in the Yangtze River.
Yank's kitchen.
The Dangzi River, if you're nasty.
So these aren't really doing it necessarily justice, but like the Yangtze River is quite deep and quite muddy. So they lived in
Like that
fairly
naturally?
yeah. And it's only been exacerbated in the reasons that the body went extinct. Is that it's only been exacerbated by the fact that it's heavily polluted now.
And where's my womp womp womp?
Yeah, put it at the top. It's
All
just
right.
a dolphin.
Yeah, it's just a dolphin. Extinction doesn't have to be forever, especially with the fact that this was a recently extinct creature, which is really fucked up.
Extinction should be forever for the giant millipede. Should erase it from existence from ever having existed.
Next
Mods
up,
explode this.
we have baryonyx.
Baryonyx, more like cool ass people onyx.
Pretty sure you can play as this thing in Primal Rage.
Probably.
I think this is a magic card.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dinosaurs in Magic, unfortunately.
Yeah, these are.
Fit.
This is actually England rep because these used to live in England. But
Oh,
they
so
were.
They're British.
oi, governor. Oi, mister, you me dad.
Oh yeah, there's this art that I really like. If it loads. Yeah, there we go. I find this art to be really, really beautiful.
It is really. Does its mouth split open towards the top, or am I crazy?
Oh,
No, that's just the gums.
No, like the top, like its top portion of it, like
the
not its mouth.
how wide its snout is.
Yeah.
You're saying it splits vertically rather than
Uh,
horizontally.
Oh,
gotcha.
and then size. So these were semi-aquatic theropod dinosaurs that ate a lot of fish. We do know that they did eat other dinosaurs, like there's some iguanodont remains in one of its in. There's I don't know if there's iguanodont remains found in one of their stomachs, or there was an iguanodon that had like scars that were probably associated with like a baryonyx feeding on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the latter is the thing I'm thinking of. Um, but yeah, these weren't massive, like compared to what we're ranking. They ate a lot of fish. I could see these are kind of like bipedal crocodiles in a way.
Well, that's fun. I think they would be dope to bring back.
What do
I
you
think
think?
it would have to go with could go wrong.
Okay, that's fair
Yeah.
too.
All right.
Is it another? Is it another dolphin? Look, aw, he's adorable. The basilsaurus.
He's adorable.
Chungus whale.
I want to see it and the killer whale duke it out.
But yeah, we have Basilosaurus, which was one of the early large whales.
I don't know. I
They
like
were
how I
also
pronounced him.
hypercarnivorous.
Basilosaurus.
We know they ate other whales. And then here's a
They
size
should eat more.
comparison.
They should eat more
I
whales.
mean, I know orcas are dolphins, but I guess they kind of do that.
Yeah. These are much like more elongated and serpent-like, but yeah, they kind of
Yeah,
were
it
somewhat similar to orcas.
looks like when you try to make a clay snake, but you accidentally rub the wrong end too much, and it just gets too long and thin on the end.
Yeah. Where should we put Basilosaurus?
At least would be dope.
Yeah, would be dope at least.
Yeah. The
Fucked up whale
only
guy.
some issue I can see is we're having trouble preserving what whales we have currently. But
Well, this whale will preserve itself.
Think of all the yachts this thing could eat.
Yeah.
next up, we have Biarmosuchus.
A whaler ship would take one look at it and be like, "Nah, we're good. Actually, we're good. Thanks." And then it would look at them and be like, "Some crimes can't be forgotten," and just start chasing them across the sea.
So we have Biarmosuchus, which is an extinct genus of Therapsid synapsid. So they're not mammals, but they're like precursors to mammals. Mammals would kind of evolve from this clade of organisms.
Okay. I think we've talked about. I mean, obviously,
You
we've
sent
talked
me a
about them.
skull.
Yeah.
And they were about the size of a dog. And they had saber teeth. So it's like a lizard dog saber tooth tiger hybrid.
I feel like this would. Where did these live?
So Biarmosuchus, if I remember correctly, Russia.
Okay. So I feel like these would just be like having more mountain lions.
I would want.
I guess it would depend on like what their strategy of hunting is.
I'd want them around still.
All right.
They could be like little.
Because
They're
them
like
being
little.
smaller seems like things could go wrong.
Next up, we have
Hatsune
the
Miku?
largest. Well, no, I guess Basilosaurus is probably larger, um, in terms of overall weight.
They were gonna say Basilosaurus with Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku. We
Is
have
it?
Brachiosaurus.
They'll be
And
good with this.
that's a
Yeah.
person in size comparison.
They're just little guys, Chris. I don't know what
This
to
is
say
this
about
is literally me.
Yeah. Bring 'em back. Bring 'em back. What harm could it do?
I mean, it could step on your house.
It could destroy an entire a herd of them. Could probably decimate a forest.
Skill issue.
Yeah, because that's a horse, and it's equivalent to one leg bone.
Gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more.
But Brachiosaurus, so it doesn't have to be for.
Doesn't have. Didn't. For the
Probably
first
would be
time.
dope, because I could think of a few things that would go wrong.
Yeah,
I'm cool if it makes no sense.
Imagine a herd of these things walking through a trailer park, just upending everything.
next up, we've got Brontosaurus.
I am a Brontosaurus.
I am a Stegosaurus.
Desmond the Moon Bear. How did I get here?
Here's one of it beside a guy on a bicycle for some reason.
Man, look at that
Yeah,
neck.
he's trying to
fat.
outrun it.
Yeah, Brontosaurus. I like Brontosaurus. I think it's kind of dope, especially now. Granted, it's one of the first sauropods ever known. One of the most famous dinosaurs of all time. Had the whole thing of like it didn't actually exist, but it turns out it did. I think
think
it
it
would
does.
be. I think if you're gonna bring back a sauropod, there's one more on the list that's probably next. I would probably recommend bringing back before bringing back Brachiosaurus as well. I think Brontosaurus. Maybe try that first before you bring back something as big as Brachiosaurus. That makes any sense?
Yeah.
Try it a few times with the Brontosaurus, shoot it in the back of the head when it doesn't work out, and then bring back the other one.
Tried a few times with a hot dog. Practice.
So it doesn't have to be forever. It would be dope.
I
Dope,
want to.
probably.
Yeah, it would be dope.
All right.
Because, as Beth said, at the end of the day, it could still cause problems.
The end of this day.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Okay.
What?
Oh, yeah, go back.
Oh,
What?
whoa. Well, why did they yassify? Why did they yassify the Camarasaurus in that picture? What the fuck?
So these are Camarasaurus. Camarasaurus is probably my favorite sauropod.
Mm-hmm.
And they were big because all sauropods were pretty much big. But this isn't like on the smaller end, they weren't too much bigger than mammoths. They did get like not unsubstantial sizes. That's like a person still, and that's like if it was alive, it'd be the largest creature on Earth by a wide margin. I like their look. I like I don't know why that did that. To me, they just seem like a good, solid sauropod.
Boom, boom, boom.
You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man.
Oh, that's a
No
Columbia
time to
Mammoth.
talk.
Yeah.
They're guys. I like them.
I think
Little
if any
cuties.
of the sauropods on the list, these guys would make the most sense to bring back.
Yeah, probably put it at the top.
Because they'd be kind of like they'd kind of be like elephant meets giraffe in terms of ecological niche.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Carcharodontosaurus. So Carcharodontosaurus is another one of the megatheropods. This one lived in the middle. There's not technically a middle Cretaceous, but it lived in the middle Cretaceous.
Yeah, it's certainly middle, right?
It's one of the largest theropods, largest land carnivores to ever live. These things ate primarily sauropods and other dinosaurs. They may have eaten like iguanodontians and stuff. What were you saying?
This size comparison looks like a Super Sentai lineup. Sentai Sorrow Ranger.
Let's see.
Love
We
that.
got Spinosaur. We got Carcharodontosaur. We got
Oh no! You see,
Tyrannosaur.
the Spinosaur has to be the sixth Ranger. This is more different.
Then we got Carcharodontosaur and another Carcharodontosaur. All right.
Here, just
Where do we want to put Carcharodontosaurus?
uh,
Do you think it would go terribly?
If I were to bring back any of the megatheropods we've covered, I'm definitely going Acrocanthosaurus for Carcharodontosaurus.
I would say could go great, could go terribly.
I'm gonna say, do you want Jurassic Park? This is how you get Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair as well. K-Bear.
Care Bear. All right.
K-Bear. Okay, but is it K-Bear? Whoa,
Why
mama.
is it snouts? Why it snouts so long?
What were you saying?
Or
Whoa,
salmon.
mama, too.
Just how big it is, like compared to a human. It's human size.
This thing looks like the bear from fucking Annihilation.
And kinda. I like this art where it's just like they gave it really.
Bara.
Yeah, they gave it like really curly fur.
Like fucking chin.
Beth, I'm sorry. Did you just say Bara?
Yes.
So there is something
I just-
notable to. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I just wanted to confirm what I heard with my ear holes.
I was gonna say, unlike some other Ice Age bears that were really carnivorous, we have found of the numerous specimens of cave bears, because we even have some mummified cave bears that like were frozen in ice. They ate primarily plants. They probably ate carrion. They probably maybe killed a bird on occasion. They were primarily grazers that ate a lot of plants. So they're kind of like a niche that we don't. One moment. Sorry, I was talking to someone. We're back.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
So I'm thinking of like a niche that they'd be like pandas, but they don't if they didn't suck. Because
Fuck
unlike pandas, they don't eat one thing. So they're kind of like they'd be like pandas in the terms of they're largely herbivorous bear, but they're actually decent and they want to live.
Yeah, this would be easy to bring back. I mean, we have bears. We have bears already.
Yeah. Extinction doesn't have to be forever.
And now, speaking of cave bears, if we bring back cave bears, why not bring back its main predator, the cave lion?
Where do these things live?
These things live throughout all of Europe and Asia,
I
and
guess it would be our
partly into
problem, but it'd
North
be somebody's
America.
problem. Oh no.
But they were largely outcompeted in North America by the fact that we had a bigger lion in North America.
The
Because
bigger
we
cave
had,
lion.
there's the cave lion, and we had the American lion, which rivals the
America.
saber-toothed tiger in terms of largest cat to ever live. But yeah, so the cave lion, they were lions that they were Europe's lions. Although modern Asiatic lions also probably lived in Europe back before like centuries and centuries and centuries of human hunting and using them for coliseums eradicated them down to living in one national park in India.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Eurasian lion, I bring up the whole thing with the cave bear. We have evidence that when the cave bears hibernated, like cave lions would regularly try and kill them and eat them while they were hibernating. This worked the majority of the time. About 3 out of 4 times, 1 out of 4 times, the bear would wake up and kill the lion.
Damn. Well, I mean, obviously, if you bring back what's the word? You gotta bring back the cave bear, the cave lion.
I was just say, like, the cave lion, I think could make sense in like the case of like Pleistocene Park, where you're trying to recreate an ice age landscape and you're bringing back in bison, you're bringing in horses, you're bringing in caribou, trying to resurrect mammoths and rhinos. You're going to want a large carnivore to keep things in check. And in terms of large carnivores, before we try and resurrect something like the short-faced bear, which is insane, here, I don't have it on the list, but short-faced bear is size. Before we try and bring back this thing,
Is that really the best name you guys could come up with?
short-faced bear.
It's
Before we bring back this, maybe give the cave lion a shot.
okay.
I think you should bring back both at the same time.
So, what do you think would be dope?
It should be dope.
Yeah, should be dope's good.
Right. Next up is Cavaramus.
Okay, the thing with how big is this?
So this is about eagle size.
Okay.
If we bring this back, I can shoot them out of the sky instead of bald eagles.
Okay.
The FBI would like to know your location.
These were a Triassic pterosaur that had like a cool crest.
Oh, fuck. Ow.
Okay, so they're about hawk size. They're not.
Don't take it. Don't say it. Don't take it. Don't say it.
I was about to poison our minds.
These are about the size of like a red-tailed hawk.
It's about the size of that one hawk. That one hawk named Tua.
Beth, remove Aura from the server if it's okay.
No, I'll be a good boy. I swear. Please. If I get removed from this call, I'm not coming back. I'm kidding.
Yeah, where do I want to put Cavaramus?
There.
God damn it.
I think Cavaramus. I think it would be neat to bring back some pterosaurs because they're basically dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's any. We don't have any of the giraffe storks on the list. So I think something like Caveramus would probably be decent. What do you think? Would be dope.
Okay.
Could it go terribly there? Okay.
I don't
And I
think
think it
it'd
could
go
go
terribly.
I feel like it could go kind of wrong, but like not crazy wrong. Like maybe maybe getting stuck in a jet engine wrong. You know what I mean?
Getting stuck in a jet engine.
Yeah.
Or I got into the jet engine again. I'm gonna need to get the spray bottle. Be trusted around jet fuel.
Okay, Ceratosaurus.
Why is it always a Sheba?
Ceratosaurus. This is
We're gonna
another.
feed this dog to this dinosaur.
This is another. This is another decently sized theropod. It's like not mega theropod size by any means. I really like my bias to go show heavily. Ceratosaurus is my favorite carnivorous dinosaur by a wide margin. I think it's neat. They have 4 fingers on their hands. They have the 3 horns. They're relatively decent size. They'd probably, in life, they hunted stuff like Dryosaurus, stuff like, I forget the name, there's another like iguanodontian from the Morrison.
What
And they
did
hunted
they hunt in death?
stegosaurs. So these guys would probably be
Answer the
all
question,
right.
Staggy.
Nothing hunts in death, except for parasites and things with botulism.
Oh, I love how botulism tastes.
These things would probably subsist decently off of like bovines, like stuff that size. They might take on stuff up to like rhino size.
I too could take up stuff up to rhino size, if you know what I mean.
Anyway, where do I want to put Ceratosaurus?
We're talking about Mr. Gates.
God
Could go terribly, I think.
Yeah, could go terribly.
I want to say it would be dope, but okay. Charnia.
I'm sorry, did you just say like the
Oh yeah, like the lion,
the
the
cougar,
witch,
the wizard, and
the cave lion, the bitch in the wardrobe. That's just a feather.
That is just a feather.
All right, so Charnia.
What the fuck?
Oh wait, is it an aquatic plant?
So this was an
It's a tapeworm.
aquatic creature. It wasn't necessarily a plant. That it's one of the oldest multicellular organisms we have evidence of. It lived pre-Cambrian. It lived in the Ediacaran. And it was believed that it may have kind of filtered the water like a sea pin or a sponge. And it had all this like leaf-like structure. Because here's a fossil of it. And that kind of just like it set in the seabed in the current, and it kind of just like collected detritus and like plankton and like filtered it and ate it that way.
Yeah, I already do that.
So what do you think?
I think it's concerning that Beth filter feeds. I mean, there would be. I feel like
I guess it would be fine. I think if I saw one of these things, I'd kill it with a baseball bat.
Oh, it'd be
I mean-
underwater.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with them
You
exactly.
take a baseball bat into the ocean with you.
Well, clearly you have an easier life than I do.
I would say extinction doesn't have to be forever because I don't think there would be any downsides to it being around. Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay. So next up is it's an ammonite called Selenoceras. And it's kind of like well, I guess close example would be like a nautilus. But these were cephalopods that had large elaborate shells, and they existed throughout much of the world's ocean until the meteor impact that killed the dinosaurs.
Now, question:
Delicious.
would their meat be like clam or calamari?
Probably calamari. to be
They-
honest.
Yeah, they have tentacles.
Yeah, so this is like what you're. Why do I keep doing it? Open image, not save image. So I'm just closing tabs as we go so I don't overload. But yeah, this is about yay
All the
big.
pornography.
So it's like not terribly much bigger than a lot of octopus we already deal with.
This
Mhm.
will probably be fine.
Yeah, I ate the shit out of it. That was the question, right?
Compsognathus.
What'd you say about my mother?
Compsognathus.
Oh, okay, hell yeah.
Go for it.
No.
This depends. How big were they?
So Compsognathus were fairly little. And there's an
Yeah,
outdated illustration
like
of when someone thought they were aquatic.
duck. Like you think these things are cute until there's like a dozen of them jumping all over you and biting off parts of your body.
I still think they would be cute.
This one's very shrink wrapped for some reason.
Watch out, guy, that rat's gonna fuck you up.
That's gonna fuck you.
Yeah, these would be small size theropods. They would probably eat a lot of like lizards and small mammals. They'd kind of be like the bird equivalent of a cat.
It's certainly a sentence.
I'd keep one as a pet.
To
like
fight
a
them,
cat.
to fight the monsters at our door, we create monsters of our own.
It's
Hmm.
bird Pacific Rim, but they just pilot small theropods to fight cats. Okay. Where do we want to put Compsognathus?
I guess. Do you think it could go terribly?
I don't
So I
think
think when these
so.
things are too big or too small, I think they'd be dangerous.
So, like, I
I'm just
approach
imagining that
this
one.
as like as much like as far as a conceivable threat. I think could be badger level, and we can deal with badgers. If that makes any sense.
All that I'm imagining right now is that one scene from Jurassic Park 3 where, like, it's the parents and the little kid on the beach, and the little girl is like, "Look, mommy, I made friends," and then
That's
all these
Jurassic
dinosaurs
Park
start.
too.
Oh, that's Jurassic Park 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Jesus
3.
Christ.
Uh,
Yeah, no, that was the one that starts out with them on like a boat, and then the person parasailing line gets cut.
oh
Yeah,
no.
that's the third one. Yeah. All right. So would be dope.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end of the day, I could just punt one with my foot, with my toes.
Yeah, but then there'd be 11 more.
I know
I will
karate.
say, like, we do not have evidence that they hunted in packs by any means.
But did they hunt for snacks?
Yes.
No.
Try the
They
bite.
hunted wild Twix.
I love a
That'd be
try.
funny is if we bring back
Hmm?
Compsognathus and instead of like being like aggressive and hunting packs, they're aggressive in the sense of like they're like monkeys in India that like steal people's food. All right, so these are the conchophytes, which are small trilobites that are fairly common.
And you pop them in your mouth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, we could probably have these without issue.
Okay.
Extinction doesn't have to be forever.
This other thing is just a shark. We still have these.
So Credolamna, it's an extinct genus of shark that didn't go extinct that long ago, actually.
It sucks for them.
And they lasted until like 46 million years ago.
Oh, that's what you mean.
But they lasted for
You
like 150.
until recently, it's like the river dolphin that went extinct in like 2002 or whatever you were just talking about. Like, that's recently.
Okay, I meant this in the terms of they were around from like 115 to 46 million years ago. That's a very long time.
Like, no, these things died last Saturday.
But yeah, where do I want to put Credolamna?
I mean, bring them back. Yeah, I'm gonna take them back to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna de-extinctify them.
Take my shark to the old town road. Gonna swim till I can't no more.
Next up, we got Deinonychus.
You think this one would be more or less violent than the cat-sized one?
So here is Deinonychus. I think this would be more aggressive. We have evidence of them hunting, maybe in packs, maybe more mobbing like Komodo dragons do, where so the thing with like Komodo dragons is they hunt in air quotes packs, wherein they'll like try and take down a water buffalo. They don't coordinate with each other. They all just go for it at the same time. They don't be like, okay, you drive it this direction, you drive it this direction. Everyone is just going, bite, bite. And they just like all attack at the same time.
Bite the gummy, bite the gummy, bite the gummy.
So there's a debate
this seems like
between,
it could go wrong.
Yeah. Like I could see like in an ideal scenario, they're like, I'm trying to think of a canine that they could be like wolves if they were more pack social, or they could be more like, I guess jackals and Tibetan wolves are kind of like solitary.
I would say this is Do You Want Jurassic Park at least? If the way that you're like oh no, they're hunting.
No, I think this could go wrong.
All right.
Okay.
And now we're gonna bring back Dinotherium.
Dinotherium.
Okay. Fuck up elephants, we could probably have these.
Yeah.
And we got Dinotherium. They were a genus of large Promosedian, which are notable for having downward pointed tusks as opposed to upward pointed tusks like a lot of them do. They also had very long legs. And then
They tried to put me on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were too long.
Of the mammals we have were on the chart, if this was brought back, it'd be the largest mammal on Earth. Like largest land mammal.
It's just by being extra tall.
Yeah. So what do we think? Thing doesn't have to be forever, or would be dope?
Yeah, I think it would be dope. No, not would be dope, but extinction doesn't have to be forever. I would like to see these guys walking around.
All right.
Walking around the Christmas tree.
Next up is Deinosuchus.
Oh,
That's an
honey, no.
Albertosaurus. That is Deinosuchus.
No.
They're in the running for the largest like crocodilians to ever live.
This could go wrong. This could go wrong.
This could go so wrong.
Here's a T-Rex. Here's Deinosuchus.
Chris, you don't
These
have
are the ones that gallop.
No, these were like alligators reaching their maximum Super Saiyan form. Like,
Super Saiyan God alligator.
pretty much. There's a couple other crocodilians there in the running for the largest, like Sarcosuchus is a crocodile morph, Purosaurus, and Ramphosuchus. But these guys lived with dinosaurs. Well, Sarcosuchus lived with dinosaurs. The other two didn't live with dinosaurs. So these guys lived with and ate dinosaurs. I think they would be cool to bring back, but I can see it going wrong.
I can see this going super wrong.
So we want to put Jurassic Park or could go great, could go terribly.
Jurassic Park.
What do you think, Beth? Oh, is Beth still on?
What?
Oh, we were asking where you want to put it.
I think it would go terribly wrong. I already said that.
All right. Next up, Dictodon.
I'm sorry, Dick?
Of course.
Dick.
Piornus?
We got Dictodon. They're little synapsids.
Me when I fuck the head of an Italian mafia family.
I'm sorry, what?
Dictodon.
Alright, so these were little synapsids that lived in the late Permian. They kind of survived through one of the largest worst mass extinction events in Earth's history. They were burrowers, and they're kind of like proto-mammal prairie dogs with tusks.
These things would be like, we'd race these things like hamsters, gerbils.
Just instead of like hamster cities, just Dictodons.
Hamster. Extinction doesn't have to be forever. Staycation. I don't know what I'm saying.
Alright, next up we have Dictylocephalus.
Dictylocephalus.
These are sea creatures, right?
Yes, these are trilobites, but unlike the trilobites we did previously, these things are multiple feet long.
These are trilobites.
Probably have it, but I'd still kill it with a baseball bat if I saw it.
These are trilobites, but with massive tits. Chris, speaking of massive tits, I have to show you a GIF later.
That's so helpful. That bodes so well.
Speaking of which, I need to sexually harass you.
Alright, so now we got extinction doesn't have to be forever for the giant trilobites. Next up is my boy, Dimetrodon. So Dimetrodon did range
every disease.
Did range in size from they ranged in size from about the size of a dog up to large Komodo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they had the sail, which made them a lot taller. These lived in the Permian. They were, at the time, there was a couple other predators that were about the same size, but they were apex land predators at the time. They got surpassed by dinosaurs and even most large mammal predators now, like bears and lions and even some canines and hyenas are larger in a lot of ways. But how fast do
you think one of these would be?
They could probably be decently fast. I think I would equate it to, have you ever dealt with like a large lizard and how they can be fast for short bursts.
Okay, I get what you mean, but yeah.
So here's my thought process. So on one hand, they would be really fast, but on the other hand, that giant fan on the back of their back would be a real hindrance. And
On
so
the back of their back.
while they're trying to
You mean
chase
on
you,
their back?
yeah, on the back of their back. While they're trying to chase you, they're just they're stopped constantly by the wind because they're getting blown back by their fan.
So they did use their sail probably for thermoregulatory, to help them like warm up during cold days.
Ooh.
I think this would be dope because I don't think just letting this thing be would not cause problems, but it probably wouldn't go terribly.
I think at the worst, I think if you did it carefully, it would go well. If you just fucked it up and like released it, you end up with like the giant lizards in Florida where they're just like fucking everywhere and they fuck shit up, uh, type deal. But yeah, they
I agree
ranged
with
in
that.
size from like this little guy up to like this one.
I think these would be dope.
The way you describe that reminds me of something. There's a Transformers media maker and reviewer I watch where he makes these parody videos every time there's like a new Transformers piece of media, because there's a lot of critics will be like, if this is done well, it could go great, but if it's not done well, it could go poorly.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to say one thing on Dimetrodon. I didn't mention lizards a lot. These things were actually synapsids, which means these were
They're closer to mammals.
closer to mammals. They're kind of also what gave rise to mammals eventually.
Mm.
And we think the warm-bloodedness of mammals may have kind of started with synapsids like this, learning to thermoregulate themselves using their sails.
Interesting.
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
Why most media puts them living in caves, like alone and not anywhere near the sun.
In a cave with a box of scraps.
With a box of Scrabble.
Next up is Diplocalus. There's a
Oh,
lot.
I had Diplo.
Good.
I was just gonna say I had
I
Diplocalus.
buy this stuff at the gas station.
I had Diplocalus once. It took 5 weeks of intravenous antibiotics to clear it up, but I'm better for it.
We got Diplocalus, the boomerang-headed amphibians.
Yeah, we could probably have these.
Why does it look like a flatworm?
Which one?
Swimming.
This guy, the Diplocalus.
Flatworm? Oh, so there's some that have suggested that instead of it just being like just a head that they ended, the idea is that a lot of amphibians, especially salamanders, will have like skin flaps to help them breathe. And the idea is if it had that running from its head to its body, then it would give it much more like hydrodynamic lift and it wouldn't have to swim as hard in order to like swim fast. So there's been proposals that it may have had that going on.
Okay, that's understandable. Well, they seem like little guys. I would say that, yeah, extinction doesn't have to be forever. They've done nothing wrong.
Next up, we have Diplomystus.
That's a fish.
Yep.
Okay, it's just a fish. We'll be fine.
Yeah, they got to about the size like a thing of largemouth bass.
Oh, Billy Bass?
Billy singing Diplomystus. It wouldn't be Billy. It'd be like Doug, the Diplomystus, or whatever.
Dick.
Richard, also known as Dick, the Diplomymus.
And now we have.
Hey, Stig, should we bring back the direwolf?
Oh my god.
Oh no, let's discuss actual direwolves and xenon dirus.
We got these already.
Shut the fuck up. So yeah, unlike what Colossal may say, The dire wolf's most closest living relative would be stuff like African painted dogs and jackals. So it would look significantly different
jackal?
to a gray wolf. And then
wolf.
here's
like
an
a gay
artist
wolf.
rendition of that. Like, these are gray wolves. This is what a paleo artist and scientist believes dire wolves may have looked like. So they would have looked distinctly different than gray wolves. They would have been a little bit bigger. Not quite, not like an insane degree bigger. They are bigger, but they're not like, yeah, size. Sure. Yeah. So here's a gray wolf. Here's a smaller gray wolf. Here's a larger dire wolf. Here's saber-toothed tiger. They're not, unlike cowboys said for some reason, big enough to ride. For some reason, cowboy kept
maybe if they
thinking
were small.
you could ride. Like, maybe, yeah.
I mean, he probably thought that because of Game of Thrones or some shit.
Yeah, they'd be like mastiff size, maybe. Where do we want to put dire wolves?
Probably be dope.
I mean, why would we have to rate them? They're back right now.
Just because you have three
For a
things
limited
they
time.
call dire wolves.
11.
Okay, they would be dope.
Dodo bird.
This
These
is gonna
things
sound.
suck. We should.
This is gonna sound really bad, but I would only want to bring them back on the fact that I want to taste what they taste like.
Reportedly, they don't taste good.
I'm sorry, they don't taste good?
Sailors said they didn't actually taste that great.
Then why the fuck did you hunt them to extinction, you bastards?
So
They were
that's
bored.
somewhat of a misconception. They were absolutely hunted by sailors. We think what contributed to the Doe's extinction more was probably the sailors introduced pigs and dogs, which ate the pigs would have killed, and monkeys.
Oh, God.
The pigs would have ate the eggs, and the dogs would have hunted the birds themselves.
I don't know. In my fucked up little mind, I would like to think that the pigs ate both the eggs and the
Both of these nuts.
and the birds themselves.
Yeah, these were like large flightless pigeons that were omnivorous and ate shellfish as well as like fruits and nuts. That beak is actually pretty hard and pretty because they were used to like crack open like clams and stuff.
You know what else is hard?
No, Beth, please tell us.
Living in late stage capitalism.
And my mom.
And these things are about the
Like
size
Bob.
of like a turkey.
And I would still eat one just for shits and giggles.
I think these are like extinction doesn't have to be a forever tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do anything.
How how could you let a bird with a dump truck ass like that extinct forever?
Next up, we have Dromaeosaurus.
Or complaining about Mr. Hands earlier and wants to fuck birds.
Hey, I just said the bird had a dump truck ass. I said nothing about fucking it.
So Dromaeosaurus, they are the reason we call raptors what we refer to as like raptors as dromaeosaurs, because Dromaeosaurus was the first one ever found. Other than that, there's actually they're actually fairly fragmentary in nature. Like, we have a couple different specimens of Dromaeosaurus, none of them are really well complete. They were fairly small. Again, we don't know for certain if they hunted in packs or not, but they may have. They were about the size of a dog.
Yeah, this would probably go in the same category as that other dog-sized raptor-ish thing.
Like Deinonychus?
Maybe.
Because there's
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Dryosaurus.
People be like crying on my swords till that.
So my clothes are done.
No, we got Dryosaurus. These were small-sized guanodonts that probably lived and acted a lot like gazelles or antelope in their environment. And I think they're kind of neat.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
would be yep.
Next
The
up,
Dunkelsaurus.
Dunkleosteus.
Damn, what that mouth do?
So rather infamous.
Crushes turtle shells.
Well, they lived before turtles.
Shells, things.
But yeah, we used to think they
Colored
were
it like
like much larger, but recently, and I say recently, it's been a couple of years, there was the infamous they shrunk the dunk paper, where they estimated that instead of being a long, thin animal, it was a short, fat animal. And they proposed that instead of having, because it used to be that they interpreted as Dunkleosteus paleo. It used to be that they kind of interpret it as being fairly elongated, like a salmon or another like thinner fish. It's now been proposed that they're much more like probably tuna, or they're more
Do they also
barrel shape,
do they also enjoy coffee?
maybe.
Why?
Specifically from Dunkin' Donuts? A Dunkachino, one might say.
And Beth Ban Aura again.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
But it should be noted
Dunkleosteus.
that these are bone. These are bone that sharpen every time they grind up against each other. If it were to bite you,
I mean, Dunkleosteus, the way I'm grinding in the club.
if it were to bite your hand is gone. Like it
And
could
it's stronger.
snap its jaws in a fraction of a second.
This would probably be dope because I feel like it wouldn't be nothing would go wrong from having this. Like I have to imagine that thing would fuck up ship hulls.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is a Daphosaurus.
I am a Daphosaurus.
Chungus Dimetrodon.
So these were relatives of Dimetrodon. They were herbivorous.
Interesting. Go back to the image search. Pull up the one with the small head.
This one. Oh, this was a neat color pattern. It's like evidence of like if something took a chunk out of it.
Looks like a fruit roll-up.
But yeah, these were
No wonder they took.
herbivorous. They were larger than Dimetrodon. They were herbivorous. They were some of the first large terrestrial herbivores. After like Arthropleura, they were the largest terrestrial herbivore for a while. Where should we put it?
Yeah, that'd probably go up.
Yeah, why
Probably go in the
Extinction
same
doesn't have
as
to be
the
forever.
Dimetrodon.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second.
All right.
Okay. Next up is we got Edmontonia. So Edmontonia,
Prepare to die.
they're called nodosaurs, which are relatives of ankylosaurs that notably do not have tail clubs. Edmontonia apparently got around having the lack of defense of not having tail clubs by having massive fucking shoulder spikes.
Yeah, this is like we compared the ankylosaurus to like the moose or whatever earlier. This is like the biggest threat to your car.
It's not gonna like kill you, but it's going to like fucking like it just walks past your car and it's just like you see those things where like the car got in an
Scratches your car.
accident like with the median and just like there's this giant gash along all of the doors.
More like the whores, am I right?
Anyway, where do we want to put Edmontonia?
Edmontonia, Extinction doesn't have to be forever because I want to see it fuck up a Cybertruck.
Speaking of Cybertrucks earlier, there's like 2 Cybertrucks in my entire town.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of them was on the side of the road earlier, and another one had shown up to pick that guy up.
Jesus wept.
Idiot to idiot communication.
They're probably going somewhere to compare hole sizes and be like, "Oh, your hole is so pretty." No, your hole is so pretty.
I'm doing this chart just because it also includes Quetzalcoatlus, because I think it's funny. Edmontosaurus, a large hadrosaur, which lived throughout North America during the late Cretaceous period. Here's its size reference.
Probably be dope. I feel like it would still cause a few problems.
Yeah, I feel like we're in this territory of if you had a herd of these things, the forest is gone.
So, like, do you want Jurassic Park? Because that's how you get Jurassic Park, but kind of a different
I
version
think
of it?
would be dope. If we're
Alright.
putting Brachiosaurus in would be dope, and Montosaurus also goes there. Next up is Lasmatherium. These are
I mean, yeah, it's rhino. We have rhinos.
giant one-horned rhino. This is also significantly larger than any rhino we have alive today. And these guys went extinct around, I want to say, like 30,000
Fuck
years
up all
ago.
those poachers.
And I do know that notably amongst rhinos, they were really adapted to grazing, so they ate a lot more grasses, while most rhinos today eat a lot of like shrubs and leaves.
You know what I eat a lot of?
Dick.
Yeah, thank you. There you go, Beth. You get a prize of your choosing. Tell me what you want.
Lasmatherium. Okay.
Your demise.
But we're gonna have to break the contract and.
Next up, Erematherium.
And then we're gonna have to break at least 5 of Chris's bones.
Also known as the Pan American Giant Ground Sloth.
I don't see any downside to bringing these guys back. They're just
So they
little
are
sloth guys.
pansexual, so they could hit on you.
Well, there is one notable issue I can possibly see. And that is
Fucking huge.
That is a person, and these are ground sloths. And
Yeah, this would go in dope.
I can see if they're anything like armadillos, there's no building you can build that would be safe from a Erematherium trying to break into your kitchen when it has the munchies. Like,
Oh, is that because armadillos like dig through cement or something?
yeah.
Wait, it might get the munchies. It's
And
gonna eat my bugles?
we know they dug because this is a tunnel. And come on.
Pretty sure
In
this is the
South
plot to the
America.
first Ultra Q episode.
This is a tunnel in South America, of a fossilized tunnel, where it's, a sloth did this. So I can see it causing
oh,
some issues.
This is what it's going to do to your asshole.
But yeah.
I mean, my asshole's already like that.
So where do I want to put Ear of Ethereum? Would be dope.
Yeah, it would be dope.
Throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
I mean, Chris can attest to that. What? Never mind. Who said that?
I remember someone made like art of like it was like somewhat scientific explanations of like mythical creatures, and for trolls and cave trolls, they were just like they're giant sloths, and they did like art like this where it's like giant subterranean creatures with huge tusks and claws. All right. Next up is Gigantopithecus.
Okay.
Largest ape to ever live.
Smash.
Possibly
Wait, no,
go
that's
wrong.
Not that's not what we're doing right now. We're not. What were we doing again?
Shall we bring these guys back?
I actually don't think so.
Yeah, I think it would be dope. Like there's obviously some problems this could cause, but it wouldn't be horrific.
All right.
That's fair.
I'm going to close some of these. Next up is Globidens, which is an extinct mosasaur species, which is notable for having. It's distinct from other mosasaurs because a lot of mosasaurs have conical teeth meant for like piercing and slashing sometimes because some of them are serrated. Globidens had really round, flat teeth that were designed to crush things. And we think
That's what my teeth look like.
What Globidens was doing was it lived in areas with a lot of like large clams and stuff like ammonites, which are shelled invertebrates. And we think Globidens was eating those primarily. So while it would be fairly large, it probably wouldn't see you as a food source. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Where do we want to put Globidens at?
It should probably be fine, honestly.
Yeah, would be fine.
Well, I meant at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, another food source for the glorious human race.
We're going to kill all of these and eat them, and then rank them.
Next up, Glyptotherium.
Man, I love balls.
Yeah, but imagine getting stuck behind one of these on like a country road.
Yeah, these are the size of a small car. Like
Like how people get around here, you get stuck behind a deer or a cow.
imagine one of these guys just plodding along. Where do you want to put the giant armadillo?
I think it would be dope. I see
This
no
would probably be
doubts.
fun.
Yeah.
Probably be at the top.
Yeah, at the top. I can see that too.
Okay, next up.
I'm 2 quarters and a heart.
Hallucinogenia.
What? Get that off. What the fuck?
So
I mean, I get it's a sea creature, but
these are sea creatures. They're from the Cambrian, and they're the ancestors of stuff like velvet worms. They're very small. They're only about like the size of your finger.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they were like
they carry
little invertebrates.
They look like they carry like several diseases.
This looks like something from the Flesh Pit, the Flesh Pit National Park Mystery Flesh Pit.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Vita Carnis. Fucking yeah.
All right.
No, I don't think we should have these.
Yeah, I think
Where do you want
these
to put
should
them?
stay dead.
It
Do you
could
want
go
Jurassic?
terribly, at least.
Could go terribly. Yeah. Good. Could go.
All right. Such a visceral reaction to such a little guy.
Like this thing could cause fucking The Last of Us disease.
What?
I don't
This?
know. No, the other the
Oh.
the little tube thing.
Okay, I guess it's not open.
Oh, hang on, I'm being given. Which was mine?
Next up,
I'm being handed a note.
Helicoprana.
Give me one.
Now, these are actually big boys.
I like big boys.
As opposed to all the small things we've been looking at.
Mississippi boys and the Teenage boys. They played Lizzo on the fucking radio at the store a couple of days ago, and I was like, good.
I like torturing my employees.
And I got on the radio. It's like, good news, everybody. Lizzo's uncanceled now. They're playing her music.
Yeah,
again.
that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I assume everybody. I think it's just because everybody forgot.
Mm-hmm.
That she absolutely fucking was a monster to employees. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Helicopteron, or this is a giant chimera, which are relatives of sharks, that had literally a buzzsaw for a lower jaw.
If it was a chimera, where is its snake tail?
So chimeras are a group of aquatic organisms relative to sharks and rays that, not that, fish. There we go. They're also called ratfish, and they persist today. Obviously, no one like Helicoprion that's still around, but yeah, they usually have like crushing jaws to help eat invertebrates. But yeah, they're still around. They're kind of cool. But anyway,
Why did we bring this up?
Oh, because that's what this guy is.
it's a chimera. And speaking of eating invertebrates, we think that's what it was doing with its jaw, was it was like getting into the shells of things and then like cutting them open. So like that one Mr. Krabs gift.
Clams and stuff.
Have
What do you mean by that?
Have you seen the one where it's like the fucking crab and it just goes money, 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 and then the saw cuts in half?
Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Money!
I thought you were talking about the gif of Mr. Krabs and those Daisy Dukes in that white T-shirt cleaning a car.
Anyway, where do we want to put Helicopter on that?
That'll probably be fun.
Dope.
Yep.
Yeah, dope.
All right.
Look, all that I have to say is that Mr. Krabs is a DILF, but I guess you guys aren't ready for that conversation. Why is it another Shibu Inu? What the fuck?
He's not a stepdad. He's the daddy stepdad.
Next up, Herrerasaurus. So these may look like raptors like we've been looking at, but these guys are actually from the Triassic and were some of the first dinosaurs.
You bet Jurassic.
We've
been working on that all night.
And it's not from the Jurassic, it's from the Triassic, so you fucked it up.
Only the Pope can judge me.
Oh, so you're gonna...
Well, he's dead.
Shit.
J.D. Vance killed him. Where will we put Herrerasaurus at?
They don't look super dangerous. I would put them in dope at least.
All right. Next up is Hyracodon.
Sorry, I got lost in this
Yeah.
fucking lemon bar concrete. I'm trying to decide if it's lemon flavored what's the word? If it's vanilla custard with a couple of lemon bars like mixed into it, or if it's lemon custard with like little graham cracker pieces into it.
Good. So this is Hyracodon. It's
Mhm.
called a running rhino because these were rhinos that were built more like a horse. Except, unlike horses,
My
they
horse.
weren't idiots and only had one finger for a foot. They had multiple.
Fucking assholes.
Anyway, where do I want to put Hyracodon?
I think they could. Extinction doesn't have to be forever. Their meat looks sweet. What did I say? Something humorous and weird?
Yes.
Funny.
Next up, we got Ichthyosaurus.
I like that one picture from YouTube from the Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh, this one.
It's like.
Yeah, it's got they're basically like reptilian
Oh, that's why they did
dolphins.
it. Okay.
What happened?
Sorry, I just saw that the Secretary of Defense did the signal chat thing again.
Oh.
That's why they did that.
Yeah, they're reptilian dolphins. Where do we want to put them?
It'll be pretty good.
Yeah,
Put
pretty
it at the
good.
top.
Top. Very top.
Where I just put it?
I don't know. Or is it back down there? Yeah, no, it's still wait, Chris. It's still down though. Fuck.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
from the top, let it drop with this wet ass ichthyosaurus.
Next up, we got Iguanodon.
I mean, we let iguanas live unpeated, so
Yes, that's totally what these are.
I think, yeah, these would be awesome to bring back, especially because they were like one of the first dinosaurs ever known.
The first dinosaurs we fucked up.
Iguanodon. So what do you guys think? Doesn't have to be forever?
yep.
Okay.
Sorry, like I said, I'm enjoying some dessert right now, so that's why I'm a little preoccupied.
Next up, we got Lambeosaurus.
Jesus Christ, they're fucking big.
Yeah. And then there's a couple different species. There's one that has more like this pompadour, sort of like Elvis style crest. And there's the one called the hatchet, where it's got a hatchet style shaped crest.
To be honest, it looked like it had a little top hat for a second. Beth, what the fuck?
So where am I put Lambeosaurus at?
This would probably be at the top. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem too bad.
Yeah, it's just a guy with a hatchet for a head.
Alright.
I think the Lambeosaurus and the Insane Clown Posse would get along just well.
Next up, we got the longhorn bison.
Ooh, those look tasty.
They were bison with long horns,
What about
and they
leghorns?
were pretty big too, because they're like, yeah. Here's the modern bison. Here's the longhorn bison.
And I assume did they go extinct because of colonialism, or did they just age out?
They went extinct in the Ice Age.
Oh, I mean, hey, bring them back.
Any thoughts, Beth? Oh,
I mean, yeah, they're bison. We
Yeah.
can have those
All right.
treat.
We can have some more.
Maiasaura. So we got.
When me and my family went up to North Dakota to go visit some
We saw
landmarks up
these.
there. Yeah, we saw some bison, and on one of the in one of the national parks, and somebody chose to honk their horn, and it took all of my fucking energy to not hop out of our car and go start beating on this guy's fucking car,
You know what should have
because
happened was every bison in a half-mile radius just ran that guy's car. But
Get his ass.
Myosaurus, also known as the good mother lizard, because we found a lot of Myosaurus nests, and there's a lot of like adults that died next to their nests.
no,
And yeah, they're another hadrosaur. It's fairly large, fairly interesting. Where
they
we'll
were
put
probably
them.
looking for a snack in the form of their nests.
All right, so extinction
Yeah,
have to be forever. All right.
yeah, I would say so.
Next up,
This is
Megalodon.
reminding me of the food tier lists where we just put most of the stuff at the top. Hey, what are you doing over there?
Or do we want to
I
put?
can smell your pussy.
Where do we want to put the largest shark to ever live?
This could go terribly.
This could get terrible, yeah.
Especially because they eat whales. And now we have
Are you talking about dino wings?
Go sit down, Zach.
the first known dinosaur, Megalosaurus. Lived throughout what is now England during the Middle Jurassic.
I bet Jurassic.
What do I think? Should we release this to Avery?
Yeah. I think Avery's been living too
He's the only
comfortably.
one who gets them.
It's just like now 50 megalosaurs in Britain. And we just go, good luck.
That one has a little sign around its neck that says, "Have fun, uwu."
Alright, where do we want to put Megalosaurus at?
Uh,
I'm guessing
Could go, but poorly.
could go poorly, yeah.
Alright. Mosasaurus.
Damn, they be hososaurs.
Nope.
I mean, this would be cool, but also it's another megalodon. It's another big sea predator. This could go poorly.
Yep.
But
Giant aquatic lizards.
have you considered the damage it could do to a yacht?
Yeah.
I think
Consider
when
the
we
damage it would do to not a yacht.
And unlike globidins, these things did eat other large creatures on the regular.
Yeah, but you see, when we bring these guys back, the Mosasaurus, we hotwire them to hate yachts exclusively.
And then they run out of yachts. And then what?
And then they they float around a ship debating, is this one actually a yacht? I know it might be a schooner. We don't eat those.
Well, this one
Uh,
says it's the yacht of the Riviera. It's clearly a pontoon boat.
I'll go with you guys. I would say that this would be, do you want Jurassic Park? Because this is how you get Jurassic Park.
All right.
Oh my god. I just forgot custard has lactose in it.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Because my IBS is the only way I can feel anything anymore.
Well, it's like an ostrich raptor.
Kind of. Yeah.
This seems like it would be tier 3.
So, would be dope.
I think could go great. Yeah, could go great, could go terribly.
Could go terribly.
All right.
It's fast, it's big.
They weren't they were omnivores, but they weren't like, they didn't hunt other big things. They mostly just, they were like how ostriches are carnivores, where they'll just eat like lizards and frogs and like mice.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
Yeah, I agree with Beth. Could go terribly, but could go great.
All right. Next up is Orthoceras.
I am an Orthopithecus.
So these are basically, they're relatives of ammonites, but instead of having curled shells, they had straight shells. They're called the Orthocerids. And this is just for Orthoceras itself, which only got to a couple feet long. There are Orthocerids that got to like 30.
I'm just imagining like holding him upside down by his little cone head, and then he's been cooked, so I'm eating a calamari ice cream cone. Bring this bitch back.
All right.
Yeah, we could probably have these.
God damn it, I dropped it again.
We could probably have these that issue.
Oviraptor.
That's a funny way that we got.
These things mostly eat eggs. Or is it?
So that's a common pop culture aspect about it. They were called Oviraptor because it means egg-eating thief. And this was because the type specimen of Oviraptor was found over a nest of eggs that were thought to be Protoceratops eggs. And then it died. And then it was preserved. And so they thought, oh, this thing was like trying to steal eggs. Its name was cleared several decades after the fact because they did more scanning with like new technology. Were able to scan the insides of the eggs. The eggs were Oviraptor eggs. This wasn't a animal coming to steal eggs. This was a mother trying to guard its nest from a sandstorm.
Ah.
So that it could eat them later.
So that's why I'm like, Oviraptor is a good mom. It needs to beat the slander allegations.
Okay, so it's a MILF, top tier.
Yeah, top tier MILF.
Yeah. And these were again like ostriches, where they were like omnivores.
Dejected.
I need to what?
Steg just dejected. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Agree that it's a MILF, but in a happier tone. I don't know.
Pachycephalosaurus.
More like Paca Milphosaurus. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God, that reminds me of those. Damn.
So
There are a lot of third-party Transformers companies, and they make a lot of Dinobots. there's like 5 core Dinobots, and then sometimes the companies make other versions of their own Dinobots, and somebody made like a Pachycephalosaurus and something with a similar build to that, so they could retool it into a second one, and they were both female and they both had boobs because none of these people have any original ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Pachycephalosaurus is a rather unique kind of. They're called the Pachycephalosaurids because Pachycephalosaurus was the first one ever found. Well, technically not, but it was the first one we knew what it looked like because there was other ones that were just like, this is an arm bone, or this is a tooth. Anyway, Pachycephalosaurus. They were bipedal. They were bipedal relatives of stuff like Triceratops. They branch off. There's a group called Margilocephalians, or Margilocephalians, which include stuff like Protoceratops, stuff like Styracosaurus, Triceratops, and also the Pachycephalosaurs, which include Pachycephalosaurus, Homalocephali, Stegosaurus, or Stegoro. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, Protocephali. They are bipedal. They had dome-shaped. A lot of them had dome-shaped heads. There's a couple of flat-shaped heads, like Homalocephali. And they're thought that was like their main line of defense was either running or hitting things with their head. Like, people have compared it to a musk oxen or a bighorn sheep. Others have suggested that it was more like, instead of direct head-on blows, they'd be more glancing blows. But yeah. Also, with Pachycephalosaurus in particular, we have found evidence that it was omnivorous. So it wasn't just a herbivore.
Oh, shit.
Now,
This would probably be dope.
Now, as to its extent of like what meat it ate, it could have just been a scavenger. But yeah.
You know who else
Congrats.
likes to eat? I can't even finish it.
What? Ah!
Next up, Pachyrhinosaurus.
Wait, go back down, hang on. Go back down.
Oh.
Down. That one in the middle, right there.
This one?
Right. Oh.
Pachyrhinosaurus is pretty unique amongst ceratopsians. For while most of the ceratopsians had a bunch of horns on their frills, they had just like this big, flat boss that they would kind of like ram each other with, sort of like muskox.
Mm-hmm.
Only it was on their nose and not the tops of their heads. These guys are interesting for. These were an Arctic dinosaur, and there's not a lot of evidence for this, but many have proposed if it was living in the Arctic Circle, if it was living in the Arctic Circle, it might have been fluffy.
Florfy.
But yeah, where do I want to put Pachyrhinosaurus?
Up here.
Top tier. I hate to tell you this, Chris. There isn't a topper tier than that.
Next up is Aura's favorite. Parasaurolophus.
The whistle dinosaur.
Oh, well, this would be dangerous because it can breathe fire.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Hi, could I get an explanation on that, please?
This is your explanation.
Huh? The D&D first edition book introduced some weird shit.
There's one running from a forest fire.
That it caused.
Like that little girl standing in front of the burning house.
But no, there was a very badly supported idea that that dinosaurs like Parasaurolophus and other hadrosaurs used their resonating chambers on their heads, like in their crests, to store chemicals to be able to breathe fire. This is up there with flying Stegosaurus in terms of absurd.
Achoo!
By the way, if you guys don't know that, the flying Stegosaurus thing is someone proposed that Stegosaurus use its blades to fly.
Like the ornithopters or whatever from Dune.
Yeah.
Dune!
And then it could flap these to fly.
That is not enough surface area. I probably mentioned this before. There was a Bakuryu Sentai Abaranger that was dinosaur themed, and one of the dinosaurs kind of looked like that. It was called Stegoslide-On because the back would split open. It would form sort of like a surfboard.
Alright, Parasaurolophus, where do we want to put it?
It'll probably be fine, top tier.
Yeah,
I don't
top
think we
tier.
Oh
cause
yeah,
any
I wanted
issues
to
aside
show
from
you this.
Forefire.
One second. Parasaurolophus size. So they are massive.
How fat are their nuts?
Like, here's one next to a car. They're always depicted as like these small things in media. They're huge.
Oh, it's that dinosaur. It's that dragon fucking a car.
Alright.
Oh no, not one of my top tier kinks.
Next up. Plesiosaurus.
Plesiosaurus.
Now, the thing with Plesiosaurus itself is that Plesiosaurus, or Plesiosaurus, depending on how you say it,
It's like a baby.
actually isn't that big compared to other plesiosaurs.
Mhm.
I think it's because a lot of people mix up plesiosaurus and Elasmosaurus.
You know how? Okay. You know how like birds or raccoons or whatever will gather around people because the people will give them food. I just imagine going out at sea and then the boat gets like ganged up on by like half a dozen of these things, like hoping people will feed it fish or something. Come like sea pigeons when you post that picture of how small it is.
I am
Yeah.
a plesiosaurus.
This is Elasmosaurus. This is Plesiosaurus. I think a lot of people, when they think of plesiosaurus, they think of this.
Yeah, this would probably be in dope, but not unproblematic.
Like,
I'm fine
they
with dope.
might harass you like how dolphins or seals might harass you
Or
while
a
you're
cat
like
call you.
swimming, but like, yeah. They're probably not going to mess with you too much. So you said dope, or extinction doesn't have to be forever.
Dope.
Dope.
Okay, next up is a personal favorite, although I'm going to save this for later. If it
Gonna save that to the spank
loads.
bank.
No. Alright. Postosuchus. Excuse me.
Yeah, there we go.
He has a fat neck.
So do you.
Oh, here's a
Okay.
recreation of that Walking with Dinosaurs episode.
Why are they so chunky?
Why not?
Dinosaurs were made of chunks.
Oh, like
We
in
all
Minecraft?
are made of chunks.
I think I'm made of. I think I'm.
CK. CD. Chunky's dead.
Chunky Kong is dead. And then there's Chunky. He's dead.
Chunky.
But
Chunky's
yeah,
kind of the hottest one.
Postosuchus. These were large bipedal Triassic crocodiles.
Oh, that sounds
His head is so
awful.
big.
It's
Yeah,
full
this
secret.
seems like it would. This could go badly.
Badly, try poorly.
I
Fuck
think
you, I'm rich.
maybe it could be like a black bear situation where they don't really mess with people too much, but they're still dangerous.
Slap it on its big dumb head.
That's where I want to put Postosuchus at.
Probably could go terribly.
Good, yeah, could go terribly. Give it, slap it on its big dumb head disease.
Protoceratops. So these
Oh, yeah,
were
This one could be brought in without harm.
these were ceratopsians that were about the size of like a large pig.
Mhm.
And as far as potential issues, I can see them basically being like wild boars, where they're like
Oh,
fucking ripping up your land, but they're not really going to do too much to you directly, if that makes any sense.
I get what you mean.
Because here's like a size comparison. Like, they're not quite human size, but they're up there. Like, they're bigger than you would expect.
Yeah, I think would be dope, or Extinction doesn't last forever.
Okay.
It doesn't last forever because like not that big problem here.
Next up is Pterodactylis. And so these were smaller pterosaurs that they were the type they're the reason pterosaurs are called pterosaurs, or for a long time they were all called pterodactyls.
Mm-hmm.
Because these were the first pterosaurs known. These are pterodactyls. They were found throughout Europe. They got to about the size of a large seagull.
Like Spike Seagull.
Probably lived like a seagull too. Where do we want to put them?
That would be dope.
Yeah, dope. Shaggy 2 dope. Is my favorite Insane Clown Posse member.
I think I've maybe talked about this previously, but like if pterosaurs managed to make it to the modern day, and even if they were still in like their smaller sizes, we would absolutely consider them dragons. We'd be like, yeah, dragons are real. These are dragons. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a
Beth
dragon.
is going to love this.
Oh, Beth, look away. Oh, God.
Palomina scorpus.
These remind me of
Yeah,
rat
I don't think we
roaches.
need these.
Yeah, they can go to hell.
They were the largest terrestrial scorpions to ever live. So, could go terribly or Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. I don't want giant.
Yeah.
I don't want giant ass scorpions moving around.
All right. Next up is Rhamphorhynchus.
Dude needs an orthodontist.
More like a Squarphocontus, you know what I'm saying?
So again, we have
What the
another.
fuck does that mean?
we have like another medium-sized, or smaller pterosaur that lived along coastlines, probably ate a lot of fish.
Question: what if I ate a lot of fish?
Do you eat a lot of fish?
Yeah, I eat a lot of fish.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
This is about as big as they got. Where do I want to put them?
If that's as big as they get, I think we could
And
bring
go
them
back
back
to
with
size
no problem.
comparison. Yeah.
It would be like bringing my great grandma back or something. I don't know. No, I will not elaborate on what
Could
the
your
fuck I
great
mean.
grandma fly?
That's about the size of like a large owl or like a small pelican.
I don't know, great grandma. Could you have flown? Squad. I am mentally ill.
What?
I don't know.
Okay,
Say, can you
so
pause the recording real quick?
all right. Next up, we got. Come on. There we go. We got
I
Rugops.
was thinking about it a little bit. If we did make merch, I think me having a breakdown a few minutes ago would make great merch. What do you guys think?
What do you mean a few minutes ago? What did you do while I was gone?
No, not why we like before we went on break, where I was like, I don't know, great grandma, what do you say? And then I tried to make a dinosaur noise, and I. Anyway, what's up with this guy? Does he have a mouth? He do.
It's called Rugops. It's an small abelosaur from the middle Cretaceous of Africa.
This
And
definitely seems like it would cause problems.
I don't know. I think they would be all right. I like them.
Essentially, like it would be jerkery.
Could go great, could go. Yeah, I could see good go great, go good. Oh my god. Could go great, could go terribly.
All right. Yes, we got Charovipteryx. This is Charovipteryx. You ever wonder, like, why does everything that involves flight, other than like insects, always use their forelimbs to fly? Charovipteryx answers that question.
Oh, this is the one with his whole.
Man, fresh
It
lizard.
is. He has his whole pussy out.
Yeah, they use their hind legs to fly. And they're not that big. They're like they're not really massive or anything.
Yeah, seems like it would be fine.
Yeah.
These guys lived in the late Triassic, and they ranged from the size of your foot to like maybe like your arm.
Okay.
I want to put them in. Extinction doesn't have to be forever because
Yeah.
these would be
that's
dope
cool.
to have around. Where it's just like, yeah, check out that fucking weird ass. All right. Next
Look at that
up.
small dinosaur
Yeah,
flying with.
When I say something is fine, I mean there would be no problems with it, which means it would be top tier.
All right. Next up, we have Smilodon, aka the saber-toothed tiger. Even though they weren't really tigers, they are in competition, like with the American lion, to be the largest cat to ever live.
Oh, meow.
Where do we want to put them?
That would probably be a dope.
Yeah, dope at least.
Okay.
Now, if it was cocaine bear.
The cocaine bear isn't extinct. Unless that bear died.
Oh, he died.
Yeah. Wait, are you telling me that the bear that did a bunch of cocaine, a bunch of uppers, died after it was all said and done?
It did die, but for like 15 minutes, it was like the most apex predator in history.
Well, then why was the movie so long?
Because because doing cocaine extends your lifetime, or like in fucking Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Like
where
the
you're
sensu bean.
Okay, so we got Spinosaurus. It's the it's the
Why does
long.
the woman have a gun?
It's a spear gun. It's the largest theropod in terms of length, although in terms of weight, it's outcompeted by some of the other really big ones. It was largely aquatic, although it could definitely like walk about on land.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, where do I want to put Spinosaurus?
I think it would be dope.
Yeah.
Like here's
I
in a comparison with Baryonyx. This is Baryonyx. This is Spinosaurus.
Yeah, this could go terribly.
Yeah, okay, I changed my mind. It could go terribly. Do you see the look in its eyes? That's the look of a killer.
I mean, it may have the advantage of it when it maybe see us as prey.
This is the look of a killer, Bella.
So next up, we have the stag moose. These were moose that had really funky antlers.
I believe it's pronounced meese.
You can shut up.
Okay, Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, meese is so sad.
God damn it, Wikipedia.
There we go. It's Cervisa scotti. It was one of the largest deer to ever live. It had some crazy looking horns.
Yeah, moose. We already have these.
Yeah.
They'll be
Well,
fine to bring back.
let's have more meese. Let's
They were
bring them back.
alive in the last ice age. Okay.
Yeah, bring them back. Bring them back.
Yeah, the last Ice Age, starring Danny
Danny DeVito.
Ring Romano.
Next up, Stegosaurus.
I hate them.
Yeah, I hate the Stegosaurus too. Whoever has their namesake based off of the Stegosaurus should be. I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry, Chris.
So these are about the size of an elephant, although like considerably longer for obvious reasons. Yeah, because elephants don't have tails. But
I bet you could make some crazy ass pickaxes by harvesting the spines off of their tail.
I don't think so. This wouldn't be that hard, would they?
they were hard enough to skewer Allosaurus.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember Big Al getting his shit stomped by a Stegosaurus.
Bitch! No, you go back to the first one.
I was pull up this one.
Bitch!
Well,
Oh, that's
bam.
a Kentrosaurus. Okay. Because it's got a
Bitch,
shoulder spike.
I am from the house of La Beja.
Oh, that's
I will
right.
kick your ass.
I didn't put Kentrosaurus on the tier list, but I'll pull up Kentrosaurus in a second. But yeah, we have evidence of a
Stab that thing
Stegosaurus.
right in the gooch.
We have fossil evidence of an Allosaurus that died from a Stegosaurus stabbing it in the crotch.
In the gooch?
Oh, you meant the tail, okay.
Yeah.
No, I thought you meant one of the back fins making a
No.
pickaxe.
No. I mean the tail.
I mean, the fins were bone, like the plates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But where we gonna put Stegosaurus at?
that'd be dope.
Yeah, would be dope at least. If you want to move it up a little bit more, I understand.
Okay. And then just
Like,
the
I
honorable
imagine these
mention.
things being like, imagine them being like rhinos that just lash out at anything that moves from their bad eyesight.
Maybe. Then we have Kentrosaurus, which is a smaller African stegosaur that had way more funky spikes and shoulder spikes. And we have evidence of Kentrosaurus living in large herds. What do you think?
Dope. Well, actually, yeah, bump them up. They look a little smaller. They look a little bit more manageable.
So Kentrosaurus would go
Yeah, that'd
here.
probably also be dope.
The
Yeah.
file wouldn't load. But the Kentrosaurus will go up there. And next
okay.
up will be
The sea cow.
Yeah. Stiller's Seacow.
Hell yeah, I'd eat the shit out of one of those.
Oh, so you're the reason they go extinct in the 1600s.
Yeah, I teleported back to every instance of the 1600s.
By the way,
and
that's
ate
how
every-
big they are.
You're just tempting me at this
So
point.
fucking round.
It's spherical.
Yeah, but these were giant Arctic dwelling relatives of manatees. Now, I think the reason they got so big was in order to have the blubber to survive Arctic waters.
Wrong. Gamma radiation.
Anyway, we're going to put Stiller Seacow.
Extinction doesn't have to be the end of it. Yeah, top it up. Top it up.
Imagine getting caught in a herd of these in your boat and you just get bumped around like bumper cars.
God, I wish that was me.
They'll have funny British accents, so they're like, "Oh, sure, pardon me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my heavens. Oh, that was my far." That's but all around you.
I know you said posh British accents, but no, I'm just imagining a pot of them, like just all of them talking like Avery.
All right.
Oh, he'd be calling you slurs.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Next up, Styracosaurus.
Is it made of styrofoam?
Right.
These are the ceratopsians that have like just one big nasal horn. And they're a bit smaller than other ceratopsids, but they're bigger than like stuff like Protoceratops. Where do we want to put them?
Probably don't. I don't know how much of a problem do you think these would be? It'd probably be about like a Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Next up is our earliest creature.
My mom.
Stromatolites.
Oh, Chris, I think you got the pictures confused. That's just a bunch of rocks.
Yeah. So stromatolites are basically formations of large bacterial colonies which kind of build off each other over the years and make these like rock pillar like structures that almost sort of resemble coral. The reason I bring this up is the stromatolites in my collection, and I have them right next to me. One second, let me read the thing. If I can reach it. There we go. The stromatolites in my collection date back to 3.5 billion years.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first life on Earth.
This is the thing that Cain killed Abel with.
This is what came out of the primordial soup. Like,
Well, it should go back in.
so where do I want to put it?
I don't think we should be bringing back bacteria.
Yeah. Do you want Jurassic Park? Because I think this is how you get Jurassic Park.
Also, stromatolites do still form in areas where nothing eats them. So, like, very specific.
Why are they here?
Very specific conditions. Well, these are like they're like a different bacteria that makes them. Where basically you have to have like incredibly salty water where nothing else wants to fuck with it. But okay. Taposhara.
I take it in a fight. What did that say? Taming.
I can't be.
It's from Ark.
Ark or orc?
Ah!
Or. Yeah, we got.
Playing fetch.
Oh, that's a berry. It's like a fruit in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
This is my dog.
Speaking of dog, they were about the size of a dog.
That's
Yeah,
a
we
cat
got-
stag.
Oh, it's bigger than the cat.
Checkmate atheists.
Where I want to put Tapagera. These were probably omnivorous. They forest-dwelling pterosaurs with big crests.
Yeah, this would probably go at the top. You could probably tame them, make them into a dog.
Probably like a large parrot. Yeah. I don't know if you can teach you to yell slurs at your neighbors though.
It's okay, I can do that myself.
My dog can already do that, so it's all good.
Didn't your dog die like 5 years ago?
It's
How
the
do you think he
good.
died? Picking fights with the neighbors.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was gonna say it's a Doctor Strange situation, you know, where he has a ghost dog.
Anyway,
I was specifically
Tarbosaurus.
Doctor Strange.
What was that, Beth?
I was not Doctor Strange.
He has a I can't remember his fucking the dog's name. Hang on. Doctor. He has a basset hound that's a ghost now.
Oh, okay.
So Tarbosaurus is a close relative of Tyrannosaurus rex that was slightly smaller, slightly more gracile, and lived throughout Asia.
Yeah, this is definitely. Do you want Jurassic Park?
You bet Jurassic. Ha 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 ha. How many times can I make the same joke in the same fucking video? Ha ha ha.
Also, this lived in the Cretaceous, so he fucked it up again.
Hell yeah!
Okay then.
Yeah, all we heard of
Thescosaurus.
that or is kill you.
We got
Oh,
Thescosaurus.
he's just a little guy.
These were small, at least in comparison for dinosaurs, burrowing herbivorous dinosaurs that lived during the Cretaceous period of North America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but what if they tried to burrow through your cement?
Sort of up on them.
Could be dope.
Probably dope.
Yeah, dope. Dopey dope. Soap on a rope. Dope a goat. Ah!
Oh!
It has echolocation. Ah!
Yeah, we got Thrinaxodon. These were small synapsids that lived in the Triassic throughout what is now Africa and Antarctica, I believe. And they would later, like their descendants, would kind of give rise to mammals.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, they
yeah,
shouldn't have done that. That was a big mistake.
Thrinaxodon. Or I'll put
Thrinaxodon.
Yeah, this
Thrinaxodon.
would probably go at the top.
Yeah. It's not really a threat to anything, so bring it back. Bring it back now, y'all.
It'd also be neat because they like laid eggs, but they were very furry, so yeah.
Ah, so it can have new chickens. Oh, why? Why?
What?
What is that on the front? I'm eating.
That's a pouch with babies in it.
Keep his babies in its extended anus.
These are the thylacine. They're also known as Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf. They are a species of large dog-like marsupial
Oh!
that went extinct in the 1930s.
Why did they go extinct in the 1930s?
Because humans killed them all because they thought they were eating sheep.
No. Unfortunately, it's another case of I was eating the sheep and the Tasmanian tigers got a bad rap for it. My bad,
And the
guys.
last Tasmanian tiger, named Benjamin, died in a Hobart Zoo in Australia after its keeper forgot to let it back into its shelter during a snowstorm.
Now we could never have these nowadays.
Yeah, they're so far removed from us. Like, this clearly isn't a color photograph of one.
What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
Exactly. Where do I put the
Just made the
phallus on
cage.
it?
And I would put very top, tippity top.
Okay. Next up, we have the man that doomed us all.
The man that coomed us all.
Tiktaalik,
Oh,
the first vertebrate to walk on land.
oh, the owner of TikTok.
I mean, hypothetically, we don't need to bring it back because, like, we still exist as it, you know?
Where do
This
I
is what I
put?
look like IRL if you care.
Where do we want to put Tiktaalik?
I mean, it could be
Probably at the
epic. Oh yeah, at the top. That'll be fun.
It gets out of the water and it evolves into some new form of humanity.
Next up is Titanus, also known as the terror bird.
This could cause a problem.
It was one of several terror bird species. This one is notable for it made it all the way up to North America and ran around North America during the Ice Age.
Stopped running. Stopped running from all its problems.
And then died. And here's it eating a horse.
Why is
Grant,
it eating
this
a
is
horse?
Grant, that is a smaller horse. That's not.
You
That's not a
I'm
modern
a horse.
Horse.
But yeah. So I think these could exist in the modern day. Like, we're actually, if like they managed to persist, because they lived in the Caribbean as well, and like we have evidence that several like sloths live in the Caribbean, other Caribbean creatures managed to persist well into like we have the pyramids, the Age of Sail. So there's a possibility that these guys also may have persisted that long. We have some terror birds in South America that persisted till like 6,000 years ago. So these could exist in our world, definitely. Would they cause problems? Maybe. Would it be like a Jurassic Park level threat? Probably not.
Yeah, tier 3. So
I'm just tier 3 at least could go terribly, could go great. I'm just imagining them being like pelicans because you know that one video of what's the word, a pelican trying to eat a capybara.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that with the terror bird with a human. Like it's like sizing your head up.
Closest modern equivalent I can think of is like these would be like cassowaries, but in North and South America.
But no, I think this thing could like crush your skull.
Oh no.
Yeah, they use their beaks like axes, like hatchets.
Well, Beth, if it makes you
This
feel
thing could
better,
just grab you by the head and kill you.
Beth, if it makes you feel better, I could also crush your skull.
That makes me feel worse, actually.
Next up, we got Titanoboa, largest snake to ever live.
This could go terribly.
Yeah, this could go awful.
Imagine these things getting out in Florida.
What the fuck?
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife. They'll say raping everybody out here.
What the fuck?
But okay, this thing is just reaching up out of nothing to grab that helicopter. Like, how?
It has mad hops.
That reminds me of the meme of like, it's the "Don't Tread on Me" meme, but it's like snakes can't actually do this.
There was a bumper sticker I saw like a couple of weeks ago that was like, "Oh Lord, he treading," and it's the picture of the fat cat, but designed just the "Don't tread on me" sign.
There we go. Snakes can't actually do this. Alright. So where are we putting Titanoboa? Jurassic Park?
Probably could go terribly. Or what do you guys think?
Go terribly at least. I cannot imagine
Unless you
it
think
going
it's
any.
Jurassic Park.
I could not imagine it going any higher.
Next up,
We shall go high up to the helicopter. These are
Triceratops.
the two wildly different size charts.
Well, there are a couple different species of Triceratops too, and we have found some creatures, like some Triceratops specimens. Like I believe it's
Which one of these is more accurate to the build? Like that one up there, or the one you have open?
this one. Probably this
Well,
one.
no, the because like this one's like weird trotting horse stance.
Doing a little
Like
tippy tap.
that one there on the left.
This one.
Yeah,
I do not
I
like
can't
that
tell
one.
which one looks weirder.
But this is about the size they got. So bigger than an elephant.
Yeah, this seems like it would be a dope category.
Yeah.
I say dope, but I also want to bring up Aura knows the potential issues with Triceratops and how they would probably just decimate cars on the regular.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yes. That is
Why would
definitely-
Aura know this specifically? Did Aura have his car destroyed by a
Well,
Triceratops?
okay, we've been
Well-
playing through. Go ahead.
I was about to say, well, tune in for when I upload the next episode of Jurassic Park Evolution, but I can't do that because when we were recording that episode, my computer decided to freak the fuck out and fucking corrupted the footy. So that episode is lost.
Yeah, so basically, we have Triceratops in one of the parks we're trying to build, like while we're doing a playthrough, and they keep destroying our cars. They keep like just fucking decimating.
Walkable City.
So I think I'm leaning towards a creature this size with this kind of probably temperament could go great, could go terribly.
Or
I think that would be fun. I call.
Okay, so we have Trionyx, which I have an extinct species on this list because known for fossils, but there's not a lot of paleo art for it. These are giant. These are giant soft shell turtles.
Open the first image. Like this turtle looks like an old racist. Like an old racist man.
Anyway, giant
It's
freshwater
like
turtles.
the picture of the dog saying, "I know what you are.
I know what you're.
I'm not too fond of homosexuals."
Where do I want to put Trionyx?
I mean, we could put it at the top. I don't see a problem with bringing it back.
Troodon, aka Styracosaurus, because Troodon may not actually be a valid genus, because it's known. Its type specimen is a single tooth. So many have argued that this shouldn't be a type of dinosaur. We should just refer the tooth to a different type of dinosaur. But yeah, where do I want to put Troodon?
Let's put it. Let's put it in. Do you want Jurassic? Oh, sorry, you first. Go
that
first.
could go terribly.
Yeah, it would. I'm thinking it would go terribly at least because if we're just basing this this dinosaur after a single tooth, we don't know what it's actually based off. We could,
It's just a giant tooth.
yeah, we could we could reanimate it and.
The reason I say Styracosaurus is because its tooth almost looks identical to that of a Styracosaurus tooth. And many have argued that we should just refer Troodon to Styracosaurus, and we kind of know what Styracosaurus looks like. However, people are like, but Troodon was named like almost 100, like almost, not quite 100, but half a century earlier. We should keep the name. And people are like, it's a tooth. Or like, tooth taxa never die. Yeah. So it could be dangerous. To me, it's also like, if you have a baseball bat, you're probably fine.
I always do this, especially when I go swimming, as previously stated.
So you're saying could go great, could go terribly?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
This thing's right at dick height.
What the fuck is this? What is this?
Is a question. That is a question paleontologists have been trying to answer since the first fossils were found.
What the fuck is this?
Where's the fossil? Show me the fossil.
Show us the fossil. What the fuck?
And the thing is, this isn't like, oh, we have a slab. We don't know what it is. We have dozens.
Okay, I'm beef. No, what the?
Yeah. So
This is what my vacuum cleaner looks like.
Totally Monster.
Pretty sure they have these in Star Wars.
Is a notoriously weird creature. And it's been, literally scientists have gone back and forth on, is this an invertebrate or is this a vertebrate? Some have argued that it's like,
It has too many vertebrates.
some have argued that like, oh no, it's clearly an invertebrate. And some argue like it's maybe a relative of some kind of like worm. Others have argued like, well, it might be like a really weird relative of like
Pretty sure
arthropods.
One of these things at Jabba's palace.
So, people have argued that this is like a really weird proto fish, and others have argued that it is a non-vertebrate chordate, which means it has a spinal cord but no vertebrae. The jury is out. The jury is out.
This is a creature that God forgot to love. Okay, can I talk about this real fast? What?
Look in recording. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, look in
It
record.
looks exactly like it.
Hang on, it's loading.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Clumping up fucking shit.
Figure from Jabba's palace.
Jabba's palace.
It's like
Seer.
size noodles.
Of course, that's a toy.
Okay. Can I say I think paleontologists have it fucking wrong. I don't think the long thing that I don't think that's its jaw and mouth. That's fucking stupid.
What is it then?
A tail, I guess. Maybe it's a flatworm situation. Maybe it's a flatworm situation, and like you know, it like, oh god.
No, that clearly opens, and those are eyes.
Oh god. I want this at the very top so we can see what the fuck's going on with it.
Evolution did horrible things to this creature.
Oh yeah, by the way, these lived in freshwater.
They lived in freshwater?
Freshwater. These live in rivers and lakes.
Ew.
Yeah.
How big is it?
Totally monsters. Oh, they're not that big. They're about the size of your arm.
Oh man, that means they can get into my dick hole.
No.
I mean, yeah, that's what the arm is for. Reaching into your urethra and pulling out your kidney stone.
Yeah, some people have speculated that it's some branch between hagfishes and sharks.
I think it's a branch between God forgetting to love one of its creatures on Earth and Satan hiding this on Earth to freak out God.
Also, guess what, Beth? It's the state fossil of Illinois.
Yeah. Like that one picture looks like something that you see on the side of one of those orange moving vans.
Yeah, U-Hauls, yeah.
Yeah, U-Haul it is.
Next up, we got Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know him. You love him.
I hate him.
He's the big guy. Big man.
I mean,
charge.
we kind of already know the answer to this.
Yeah, I have to go in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
This is literally Jurassic Park. Next one, literally Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Like,
well, not really. So Velociraptor is significantly different than the Velociraptor portrayed in Jurassic Park. So, Velociraptor... let's go. Load. So, Velociraptor was significantly smaller. The real Velociraptor. And it had a different skull structure. And a much more long, thin skull. Smaller limbs, smaller claws, and a longer tail, and also had feathers and proto-wings.
It's as tall as two Karens. You
mean the Karen is as tall as two of it?
Yeah.
Where do I want to put Velociraptor?
I think it would be dope at least.
I still say it's literally Jurassic Park.
How about we meet in the middle and say could go great, could go terribly.
All right. Next up is the Vero tapir. So the Vero tapir is an extinct species of large woolly tapir that lived throughout North America during the Ice Age.
Yeah, we couldn't have these nowadays because of the woke.
Where do I want to put the Vero tapir?
At
the top, yeah, because of woke. Also, I would eat the shit out of one.
All right. Next up
tapirs still exist. You could just do that.
Be careful which one you eat, because some of them are endangered.
Because the last time I tried to jump the fence at our local zoo to take a bite out of a tapir, I got yelled at and banned from the zoo, and legal charges will be brought up against me.
And then the tapir also broke your leg because you underestimated how big a tapir is.
It actually squashed my balls. I'm a eunuch now.
And you're still this horny.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway.
It reminds me of my hairdresser I used to have growing up. She had a dog named Bogey after Humphrey Bogart, and even after the dog, she had him fixed, he still had so much energy, like he had one deep internal extra testicle.
Well, you see, that's my secret. That's my secret. I have 4 testicles, excluding the ones that got crushed.
Yeah, he's got 2 testicles and 2 ovaries.
It was like a Klingon with extra redundancy organs.
Oh, he's doing a little steppy. What's his name?
This is the Voe, also known as the horned crocodile. It lived in Madagascar up until less than 2,000 years ago.
Imagine Ben Stiller having to deal with this.
Well, Ben Stiller would have been fucking 8. I put him at could be cool.
Yeah, dope, because it's just a crocodile.
Big ass crocodile. Compared to
And then
Okay,
finally,
we said dope. We said dope.
all right, I'll move it down.
yeah, it's not cool enough to.
And then
Will
finally,
not have cheating. Will not have crocodile DEI.
Oh my god.
Beth, ban yourself from the server.
Okay.
Beth, no, don't leave me in the. Ah!
Yeah, then we have woolly mammoth.
I hope nobody heard that.
No, nobody would want this.
No, I would want this. Because say it with me, everybody. I wanna eat it.
Mammoth. So what are we
Mammoth.
thinking?
Huh?
Very top.
Okay, here's our video for.
Okay, now you got to put.
Yeah, we
Now you
gotta
got to
put
put all the
Fresno
trees in. And do you want Jurassic Park? Do you have any idea how dangerous a tree is? You couldn't have trees nowadays.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Have a happy Earth Day.
All of
Why
these
you still
dinosaurs are in
can.
hell right now.
Beth, hell is. Beth, don't you know? Hell is real, and we're in it right now. And since none of the dinosaurs are here, that means they went somewhere else.
Oh no.
Bye.
Because hell.